Alright, hello.
Josh in that executive chair, man. Is this a meeting with the boss?
Adam, I believe you were. Actually, give me one. Let me just straighten that.
Yeah.
You're rolling, Adam, by the way.
We're rolling.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome back to the back post.
Josh, okay,
Come on.
He's sat down.
I've been planning this in the shower. Go on.
Well, now, yes. Wait. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good.
Hello. Welcome back to the back post. We're your hosts with the most, and I've just had a piece of toast. How you boys?
No, is that what you had?
Right.
Adam was like, "Can I intro?" And that was his intro.
I'm done.
Fucking hell.
I've been planning that all morning. Oh.
Jesus Christ. He's actually gone. I can hear him in the kitchen. Oh, I love the way this episode started, you know. Alright. Adam, man. Okay, alright, let's go. I'm okay, Adam, thank you. Week 2 of lockdown, boys. How we all
Thanks for
doing?
I'm alright.
Yeah, I'm back.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Now getting to that weird phase. There's no job. There's no uni. There's just an abyss, and we're all living in it.
Keeping busy, Adam.
No, I really struggled getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Struggle getting out of bed.
So-
That's quite sad.
It is.
Obviously, it's our. Just for the record, we will mention this gigantic armchair. I basically have to go where I can when I'm living with other people. Obviously, everyone's living with other people. No one can leave. My mum's off work, so this is the corner of the house I can have today. So, and it's the giant new armchair that this is actually the first time I properly sat in it.
It looks comfy, to be fair.
It's very. It's massive. It's very Big Brother.
Oh my God, yeah, it is.
It's probably fitting, innit, Big Brother? You talk to a psychiatrist.
Honestly, Adam has made the joke, this morning, and I just don't know how much longer I can deal with it. No, okay, anyway, right. What are we talking about today, boys? Because
my shirt gives it a little bit of a giveaway. We're going to have a chat about England today, boys.
England. Interesting.
Which I'm really excited about. I've been watching, with all this time, I've been watching a whole lot of old England World Cup tournaments, Euros tournaments, documentaries, just to get my football fix. And so I thought we'll have a chat about England.
Fair enough. I'll be honest with you. I love my football. Love watching some football. Apart from the occasional podcast, I haven't been getting my football fix. I've taken a bit of a step back from it. Bit like an international break, just resting from football. So I'm very much a passenger on this. I know the basis of what we're speaking about. I know what we're doing. I've looked at what we're doing, but I haven't really. I'm going to follow your lead here today, Jay.
Yeah. Well, look, we said this a few months ago. I've never been into international football really, and I know you hate me for that, Jay. But I just
hate you for more reasons.
Don't
than
really
that.
care.
Yeah, there's more.
Yeah, that's true. But I just don't. I'm not entertained by it. Apart from the World Cup was alright, weren't it? But
it was alright.
Again, before
okay,
that.
Let's fucking start with that then, shall we? Right, because it really gets me wound up. I don't know about you, Josh, but just people. And you know what? It's mostly United and Liverpool fans, right?
It's mainly Liverpool fans. Adam's a bit.
Yeah, definitely. But I think United have the same reasonings, and I think you have the same reasonings, Adam. It's just. If you love football, how can you not love international football, man? How can you not love your country in football? How?
I don't hate it. It's I don't know. I just whenever the international breaks come along, I'm like, for fuck's sake, it can't be hard.
But the international breaks are a bit
Exactly.
different.
One thing.
Yeah, that's a bit different. An international break, it's a weird break in your season. I get that, but it's the tournaments I want about. The international tournaments.
Well, don't get me wrong.
I absolutely love, and obviously love England. I want England to win, but I don't just love that. I just love seeing all the nationalities, all the countries come together in one tournament. It's just something about it that's special, man.
I mean, I liked international football. As I always have said to Jay, I watched Euros and World Cups before I even gave a shit about what Tottenham was. I was a bit of a late bloomer to club football, football in general, playing football, watching football. But still, those tournaments, I remember just gathering around the TV, watching us disappointment after disappointment, and not even knowing who any of the players were, just being sad.
What was the first tournament you remember?
Euro 2004. I don't know why. The one where Greece won it. I don't actually remember Greece winning it. I remember lying in this very lounge, just watching a few games of that with my parents. That's and I remember. I can't remember any of the England games. I remember because it was Ronaldo in the classic 17 with that circle.
Yeah.
Round the 17. The stuff, just weird little stuff like that.
Yeah, no, kits is a big one. For me, it was Germany 06. I don't really remember that Euros that you're on about. Germany 06, I remember it so vividly because that was the first year, like, I dove into it. I got the stickers, I tried to complete stickers, I watched most of the games. You know, I even went to the pub with my dad with some of the games and some of my uncles, and like, that World Cup was such a special one.
Perhaps one of the most beautiful footballs ever as well. That I can't remember what it was called, but it had like the white ball with the sort of, it almost looked like a sanitary towel on.
I know the one.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know the
one. Beautiful football.
I'm gonna click that.
No, my issue with, if we talk about England, is every 2 years we come up to the big competitions and we always think we're gonna win it, and I don't understand how people have that sort of ideology, because we're not very good and people don't really understand that.
So you know what it is, right? With previous teams of England in our lifetime, so talking about 06 onwards, or, that kind of time frame, we have some of the best squads in the world, surely.
We have great players, fantastic individual players. As a team, it would never work.
Yeah, of course, but you see them players and you think, that's it, we've got to win this.
Well, no, you're right. I never thought you have to win this, right? But it's obviously fantastic.
Yeah,
squad. So Italy won it. They had Pirlo pulling the strings, and I can't, with Buffon in net and Chiellini, and you look at that squad, like, amazing. When Spain did their sort of Euro World Cup double, you're looking at all the Iniesta and Xavi at their prime with Busquets and Piqué and Ramos. How the fuck do we get past that? And then you look at Germany, and when they dominated the Brazil World Cup, and we've never had a squad that you think, holy fucking shit, that's incredible. But I'm sorry, we have a squad just as good as Portugal's Euro winning squad. Yeah, without a Ronaldo, but Kane got a golden boot in a World Cup and Ronaldo didn't. So we are at that level where we should be pushing. But saying, like, if you think we've got it bad, look at Belgium.
Oh, that...
Look at Belgium's squad. How are they... Torren, Alderweireld and company in their prime as a back three. Admittedly, yes, they've never had fluid right and left wing backs, which may be a downfall. But De Bruyne, Lukaku, and Bele when he was in there, I know it was Hazard, Torgan Hazard, Courtois, just...
Fellaini. He had to say Fellaini. You had to mention him.
But yeah, so there is more disappointments. Like, don't get me wrong, we're not looking at our squad we're going to discuss who we think our picks are for the Euro 2021 now, which is actually not its official name yet, weirdly. I don't know if you've seen it, but they haven't decided what to call it.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's like, okay, Euro 2020.
Boys, stop a minute.
Okay. It seems I jumped the gun there with what we were talking about, so we're just going to backtrack a bit to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Why not relive the World Cup? What a great time.
Well, I actually watched something on the BBC the other day where it was just the whole World Cup, game by game, highlights with commentary and stuff, and I got so emotional, boys. I was sat there like, I can't do this. But go back, boys, go back to summer.
Did you not watch it, Adam? Did you watch the World Cup, right?
I watched every game.
Then
this fucking guy, man.
What's your problem? Did you not have a great time?
Because I knew he was never going to win it. Everyone got
How did you not win when Trippier scored that free kick?
How did you not get it? I was in Madrid at the time. I was in Madrid, in an Irish bar. It was a bizarre moment.
Yeah.
And when that goal went in, I admit my pint did go flying. To be fair,
Exactly. And at that moment,
But-
you thought we was winning this
it was
World
so
Cup.
early on, and Croatia got very lucky that game. I thought because they weren't as good as us.
We just
And I
crumbled
always
a
knew
little
we was
bit at
never
the
gonna-
back.
Even if we got to the final, we was never going to beat France, was we? Let's be honest.
Probably not. But
That's
it
a
would've
shout.
been- It would have been a fun time.
Croatia did score 2.
Yeah, but Lloris gave him 1.
Lloris did give him 1.
No.
He did.
No.
I watched every single goal from that World Cup. Like it's
Honestly,
on YouTube,
like,
like 20-minute video.
It just the tournament transcends what the tournament is. I almost lost my job because of that tournament. I was my manager at the time, good friend. Hi Danny, not watching this, but Elliot will be and blah blah. Asked me to go and serve a table while Harry Kane was stood over his penalty against Colombia. It was like, I fucking
you
don't
made the right
think so.
decision there.
No one is waiting for their drinks during that moment.
No
No
one.
one.
No
So
one
it's
gives
not
a flying fuck.
I
You were
remember
like
being
quite a bit of a sports bar as well, so like people like watching.
I was drinking, and it was bizarre. I met like a 60-year-old Irishman. Lovely man, accidentally got chatting. All of my workmates left me, and I ended up with this because Sweden had just played Denmark.
Switzerland.
Switzerland, sorry, had just played. No, sorry, Sweden had just played Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Sweden had knocked out Switzerland, and we were going to then play Sweden. And I was sat around this table. All my workmates left me with this old Irish man who didn't give a shit about football, but would watch the game. These two mates, like who were Swedish and Swiss.
Oh wow.
And we were just having this mad time sat in your Cane and Grange, Jay.
Oh really?
Sorry, of course. But
Yeah, it's a great bar. That.
great
It's a great
yeah.
bar. That's the thing.
Daughter's Cane and Grange.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? And I think back to that summer, and it was such an incredible summer. And you have these little moments that you think of. So the World Cup is just is the backdrop to this summer that you're having. Like for me, I watched most of the tournament at home, but then I went off around Europe and. Sadly, I ended up in Croatia in the semi-final. Bad memories here. Bad memories. That's where we watched the England game. It wasn't fun. We ran that way and went home. Tail between our legs. I ended up in Croatia. I was in Split, and I was it was the first day there, and I was fucking buzzing. This World Cup was it was coming home. I was wearing this exact top actually, and we went to the middle of town, and then Trippier scores that free kick, and I heard it over on a different screen before I saw it on mine, and I heard one person shout over there, and then I was the one person that shouted in my bar, and it was just it was incredible. But then obviously they win the game, and Croatia went mad. People in their cars, flares going off. The main strip was fucked. I was walking around kind of like this, trying to hide myself a little bit. It was just it was insane. And like you say, the World Cup, is the backdrop to this mad kind of. It's like this big world event that's happening, and I just you can't beat it, can you?
Mm.
What went wrong in that game, though, boys? What went wrong? Why didn't we get to the final?
If anyone dares say that stupid old Kane should have squared anything, there's so many things about that. He got his shot on target. You can't ask him for anything to do anything more. It was a save onto the post.
Mhm.
It was off. It was I can't quite remember what it is because it's been so long now. But there was an offside in there. The goal wouldn't have stood.
Yeah.
And no one seems to remember that. If Kane squares that, and also Sterling is one of the best English goal scorers we have now. Rashford, Kane, Sterling. Probably that.
Yeah.
He was not one of the best goal scorers in that tournament.
He wasn't.
I'd have put money on him putting that over the bar in the form he was in. If you're Harry Kane, and I love Sterling, I think he's a great player, but at that tournament, if you're Harry Kane, England's best goal scorer, you're not looking at Sterling across to you.
You know what?
That's not selfish behaviour. I don't think this guy has missed chance after chance. I'm Harry Kane.
Well, you know what it is? Every top striker says it themselves, that there is that element of being selfish as well. And to be fair, he takes the shot, nearly scores, it rebounds, and he nearly scores again. And the angle is like 1%. It's like he to be fair, he could have nearly scored. So there is that. I just think I remember watching it and thinking we got the goal and then they got their goal, but it wasn't then we started to slip up. It's like right at the very end we started to kind of like make silly mistakes, and Pickford started kind of like losing his head a little bit.
Well, that's what happens. I think if you have someone like Henderson in that tournament, and I know that's a bit of a bold statement because as soon as you put any keeper in an England shirt, they start making mistakes. Like look at Rob Green, like throwing it through his own legs against the USA. Like that's what happens. But
Yeah.
I just don't really trust Henderson. I think he gets too excited, and I think he got to when we should have had calm heads, and when a really experienced keeper would have been like, right, everyone, fucking chill the fuck out.
Yeah,
Pickford
yeah.
was having essentially a fit of ADHD in the corner, and that transcended onto the players a little bit.
Well, definitely it's very true as well. Like he's like fucking and to be fair, the back line did kind
And
of.
Joe Hart did the same thing as well in the Euros. Do you remember when he was shouting, "Give me that fucking ball"?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? And it was like, just you don't need that in that. I know you're trying to get everyone riled up, but also that doesn't get you excited. That gets you to shit yourself.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
That's what happens. You don't want your keeper.
My favourite.
Sorry.
My favourite moment from that World Cup, it was the Colombian penalty shootout.
Oh,
That gave me the absolute fear.
it was incredible,
amazing.
and you know what?
That
Game
last
was
penalty,
horrible.
I was in the garden. I couldn't watch it.
We put a sign on the bar saying there'll be no service during the penalty shootouts. People were trying to get their drinks sneakily, and we were just like, there's absolutely no service. I was with a girl called Charlotte, who I used to work with, and fucking, like, as a member of staff, she was on my shoulders, and I sprinted to, like, the length of the bar,
I bet it was
spinning
so
around.
quiet, weren't it?
It was. I was just at home watching it with my dad, and it was a really hot summer's day, so we had the front door open, and the second it was Dyer, weren't it, that scored the final one. Second Dyer put that in, I just ran out into the road, out up the street. I kept running. I couldn't stop running.
One person missed.
Henderson missed.
Sanderson, wasn't it? Of course.
Yeah.
I'll send you the video here, Jay, of what my bar was like.
Yeah,
because
do
we
it.
all had long tables at home.
The atmosphere of most games as well was the madness. Like, I've got my video where we beat Sweden and I was in town in Birmingham, and the whole road was a sea of white shirts and just stopping buses and everyone singing "It's Coming Home." Like, it's that atmosphere was just incredible.
This may be a niche question, but does anyone have any favourite moments from that tournament that not England related? It's fine if you don't, I guess. But,
I do have a nice little story. So it was France against Belgium in this. Was it semi-final? It was semi-final, wasn't it? And I was in Barcelona, so I wanted to watch this game. And I was in Barcelona, but our Airbnb was like in the middle of nowhere. So me and my mate Michael went to this bar, and no one spoke a word of English. And fair play if they don't. And I only knew one sentence. It was "Dos cervezas, por favor." It's 2 beers, please. And me and Mike sat in this bar and just had these interactions with about 5 locals that couldn't speak English. I could say one line in Spanish, but we had like lovely little interaction whilst watching the France-Belgium game, and that sticks out to me. So that game for me, and it was a decent game as well. Like, them two squads were probably one of the best 2 squads in the tournament.
for me, it was I was in my shit uni accommodation, and it was on the computer, and I just had it on while I was cleaning my room. It was Japan-Belgium. So it was when Japan went like 2 goals ahead, and someone scored like it was just incredible. Like, Japan were out of sight, and then Vertonghen, I don't know if you remember, scored a looping header from about outside, like almost from a corner position. It was mental. And then that got them back in it, and then eventually, like, I think Nasser Chadli ended up scoring the winner, and I'm just looking at Nasser Chadli, who was decent for Tottenham but not good enough. Got sold to West Brom, then from West Brom for some reason went to Monaco, and then Monaco went, "Oh fuck this," and loaded into Anderlecht. And there he is, fucking sprinting down the lines of the World Cup, and you're just like, football's weird. Like,
I remember South Korea. I think it was South Korea beating Germany.
Oh,
I remember
Sonnet at the end, running the length of the pitch.
That was
brilliant.
That was almost as good as
brilliant.
Trippier's free kick. Oh.
South Korea being completely out of that tournament, but dragging Germany down with them is actually probably one of the greatest highlights there is.
100%.
I've completely forgot about that.
100%. That was almost
Yeah,
as
but
good
that-
as getting to the semi-finals. Like that. That was
Yeah, well,
Russia
that
beating
following
Spain
night.
on penalties.
Oh my god, that you know what? 18
Yeah,
was
that's
just a
true.
brilliant tournament, weren't it?
Brilliant tournament.
Mm.
Brilliant tournament.
Should we take a break, boys, and we'll come back and talk about the upcoming Euros?
Yeah. Also, England didn't lose. I don't know if we fully got. Didn't win the tournament. Just I don't know if we fully got
We
there. But just spoilers.
Right, we're back. I've switched out my water for a dark fruits. The talk about the summer of 2018 got me a bit happy. Anyway, we're going to talk about Euro 2020, which is still called, even though it's 2021, it's still Euro 2020. And I think
Well, for now, it
now.
probably will.
But I think why they've done it. It's because of advertising and like the sticker collection book is already out, and like all the shirts are still out and that kind of stuff.
That's very fair.
So I think that's why they've done it. But it just makes no sense. I think we should buy like a Euro 2020 shirt because that's kind of like a bit of history. That'll be good.
Before we start talking about it itself,
Go
does
on.
anyone know what they've suggested is going to happen with? Is there just going to be a World Cup instantly, or is the World Cup going to be pushed back? But then, when do you stop it? What's happening there?
I don't. They've actually not mentioned that. I would presume that they keep it where it is, and then everything just kind of works itself
So
out.
I'll tell you what, that is an exhausting 2 years.
It is Harry Kane.
Harry Kane is getting injured.
Harry Kane is fucked after that.
Ah, well.
No, you're right. Well, I don't know, but it's in the winter, isn't it? As well, the next World Cup. It'll be.
Well, that's a good point, actually.
So.
Which means it'll be even closer.
Yeah. So. Unless they put that then the winter.
Maybe we
after.
shouldn't have given a World Cup to Qatar. Maybe this is a punishment for that.
Yeah, it should.
Right, so I feel like we should briefly talk about England, and then we'll briefly talk about some other teams that we're not excited for is the wrong word, but tip to do well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about England, and I think with England, there's only one place to start. Get John Stones and Declan Rice out of my fucking England team.
No, we mentioned it yesterday, didn't we? I'm the worst at bringing a topic up and talking about it before the pod because then I forget what I'm talking about when I press record.
It's just.
That's true.
We did mention
we need to have
Declan
a
Rice
full
in the
conversation
middle.
about it. Sorry.
No, we were talking about the full team, weren't we? Because
Yeah.
Jay sent a picture of the predicted team for 2021. I think it was, weren't it?
Yeah.
And we don't need to have a full discussion about the team. We know it's probably Henderson, Alexander-Arnold on that side. It's Chilwell, was it, on the other side? It's Gomez and Maguire. The midfield in that is Henderson and Rice. And then you've got like a Maddison, Grealish, Ali confusion there. Then you've got Sancho, Rashford, Sterling, Kane. I know that's more than that's 12 players, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You've got the option
We'll
of that
play
front three. So we don't need to discuss that really. We just need to, I guess, the only topic is Chilwell's slipping a little bit.
Well, on the photo I sent you guys, it actually says Shaw,
Oh,
which is
Okay.
a very. You know what I mean? It was a bit
If Shaw
like, okay.
continues his form, he's got potential to be there, I'd say.
I mean, you've got a year now. We could
Yeah.
be looking at
You got to remember,
Williams.
before he got that massive injury, he was becoming a fantastic left back, and that injury proper knocked his confidence. And he's
Yeah, but that was
And
3
Mourinho
years
did
ago,
that.
Aaron. That was under Van Gaal. Like,
yeah, but that was a
He's had
massive
his
injury.
chance.
It's happened to a lot of
I
players.
know it was a nasty injury, but loads of players, like 3 years, if you're not going to recover from that injury in 3 years, I'm not sure you're ever going to hit the top. And that's sad, but I don't think that's, like, you look at other players that have horrendous injuries. I know, but I'm not saying what it is, I'm just saying I don't think Luke Shaw will ever be at the top of the football period.
Well, at the moment,
Right now,
your two
Chilwell's
options are
better.
Chilwell and Shaw, aren't there? There's no others. Maybe Sessegnon, but he's not come about yet.
Considering Wan-Bissaka doesn't attack anyway, and all he does is mint fucking tackles, can you not do that on the left?
You'd think so. And that.
I mean, I know you shouldn't be
that'd
starting
sort
to
of
play
problem.
players out of position, but it's like, I don't know. I know he'll be a better right back, but I'm sure I've played on both the left and the. I know it's difficult to get the ball out because of you facing the wrong way, but
I'll tell you who can play on the left. Reece James. Reece James can play on the left. He's been
sure
playing
he
on the
can.
left for us. He's a really class right back. So put him over on the left. He's very good defensively. He also gets forward, but keep him at the back. He could do a job there.
But would you rather have
100%.
James there or Wan-Bissaka?
You never. Come on. Wan-Bissaka or Reece James is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right. Well, they're both right backs, so I don't know. Whichever would give one a game each, or whichever one does better.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
I don't particularly trust the left backs we have. So
So Chilwell is the best of the bad bunch right now.
Yeah,
He's gotta
probably.
be, isn't he? But like the weird state we're in right now is we do have a year now to figure it out. Like there's so many people that might have come through by that point. Even Loftus-Cheek, who was in the last England squad, he will be fit by then.
you're shit left back, Jay.
No, he'd be great. No, stick him in next.
So again, the only other thing we really want to discuss is right. So I don't think you could admit Henderson because he's a Premier League winner, massive asterisks against that. Champions League winner, captain.
Yep.
Fair enough. Captain of Liverpool, not England.
Nope.
But
I still think Kane should not be the captain. No, he's a class guy. He's a class player, and he's a good captain. But I can't agree with strikers being captains.
I don't know, Drogba.
Yeah, he should never have been the captain, man.
Really, Drogba? Like players that can drag the team up by the scruff of the neck and lead by example. I think that is what a captain should be. Gary Lineker. I mean, I know he wasn't. He was the captain-like figure, like so calm. And when Gaza was crying and Lineker was the one to be like, take him off. Like I don't think he was the captain, but those sort of.
No, you make a fair point. To be fair, and and Kane has the qualities. He's like, come on, lads, and he's he's always the player to get that last minute goal to be like, fucking come on, lads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do get it.
That's not fair. Dragged us through that World Cup in places like Tunisia.
Yeah, definitely.
What a terrible header it was, but that header at the far post. Sorry, we're not talking about the World Cup anymore. So it's just Declan Rice, I guess. Who partners?
Oh, you don't need that. I think you put Hendo there and have one at the back, and then have two more attacking.
No, because Liverpool have discovered that Hendo has to be on a pivot. He can't. He's not a holding midfielder.
You got to remember.
Who else
that's why
there's no one else.
You're going to be coming up against the likes of France, Belgium, Germany, Spain. You know what I mean? If Henderson at the back there on his own, it's not going to work, that, is it?
I don't think England have a destroyer. Rice is the closest thing, and he's not good.
Yeah.
No, you see that Chelsea was linked to Rice. Like, what was that about? No, it's like we have Kante. We have Jorginho. It is fine. Don't get Rice in.
Give him a year. Maybe he'll mature into the role. But he should have stayed with Ireland. That's all I'm saying. If he was an Ireland player right now, I would not be sat there like looking at Euro 2021 going, shit. Like no. For me, and you'll think I'm biased, but I want you to remember the victory against Spain in the Nations League. And I want you to remember all of the good times of Harry Winks.
Winks puts
such a little baller.
He puts a performance in. You see him fuck about Ramos in that Nations League game.
Like now that Dyer's not going to be that again, and for me, I just don't. I think Winks and Henderson
Winks put a performance in an English shirt. I definitely did in the Nations League. He could probably play that role.
He was the best player on the pitch, and I know you'll laugh at me for this, in the Champions League final. He was fantastic. And Jay, how much of that game do you honestly remember?
Okay, that's why I'm pulling
was
the face.
Phenomenal. The rest of the team were a bit shit. Sissoko gave away a penalty. It all looked a bit messy. Winks was incredible, and considering he hadn't played for about 3 months before we just threw him straight in, Winks was incredible in that final.
I agree with the Rinks should
Winks.
I said Rinks. Rinks should be in there instead of Rice, definitely. Should we move on? Who do we think will win the Euros, boys? Other than in England, obviously, we're going to win. Who's going to come second place to us?
I think it's hard to tell now, isn't it? Because it's very far off now. Because
yeah,
it's weird that we're doing this now, but also it makes sense because it's kind of topical.
If I was to say anyone, it probably would be France. To be fair,
it has to be France, I think, as your first pick. Like you're looking at the exact same squad that won the World Cup. Mm-hmm. You're looking at it. I know Ndombele hasn't been great for Tottenham, but he is such a promising player. If he gives him a year, he is phenomenal.
I'm looking at this squad now, boys, and I'll quickly read it out to you. It's Lloris, Pavard, Varane, Longley, Hernandez, Ndombele, Kante, Pogba, Mbappe, Griezmann, and Giroud. Like, that is fire.
Well, the Giroud won't be in there.
I was going to say Giroud probably won't be in it.
But you know what it is? Giroud complemented that World Cup squad so good because
ball
to him, and then he's got two of the best fucking ballers next to him, Mbappe and Griezmann, to just head it down to, chest it down to, like.
But it's not even that. You look slightly back. You've got Dembele of Barcelona, Koeman of is he Bayern now? Koeman? Yeah, he's. Yeah. You've got Mbappe, you've got Griezmann, you've got Martial. I don't know, he probably wouldn't be there, but that squad. And then in the midfield, you've got the Kantes and the Ndombele's, and it's just
It works, man.
I'd say Lloris might start to falter at that. This might be his last tournament.
Yeah.
So you're looking at then Alban Lafont.
Yeah.
The French goalkeepers, I can't quite remember, but I do rate Lafont massively. Always a good FIFA by Lafont.
Top tip from Josh there. We all saw the Benzema quote the other day about Giroud, didn't we? But it was like, what do you say, Josh?
He said, "Do not compare an F1 car with a go-kart."
but fuck off, because obviously he's won more in his club, but he's won a World Cup with France, and there was a reason why Giroud was starting so much.
Well, I mean, Benzema would be starting if he didn't attempt to blackmail his teammate with a sex tape.
Yeah.
Balbuena, was it?
Balbuena, yeah.
Go back to last week's pod, and you know how you had that thing with Ryan Giggs. It's the same with Benzema. Did you blackmail your squad?
So we're looking at some stats on Squawker. It's just it's one of those things. So France is one of those obvious ones. I think you're looking at Italy and Spain, and they're not strong enough.
No, they're nowhere near as bad. Like on this the photos I sent to you, like Morata's up front for Spain. Like that's not as good as
Italy
it could
look
be.
good, but they're still relying on people like, was Chiellini not still in that back line?
Yeah, Chiellini and Bonucci are both that back line, and you've got so the Italy line up quickly is Donnarumma, Florenzi, Bonucci, Chiellini, Baragli, Jorginho, Barella, Tonali, Insigne, Immobile, and Zanilo.
Yeah, Zanilo, the Roma camp.
I keep butchering that. I'm gonna butcher the fucking some of these names.
But for me, like that Italy back line now should be it should be Regani at Juventus, but he doesn't get any game time because they're still playing. They bought Chiellini back.
Yeah.
Or Benucci back.
It's Benucci, yeah.
And then it should be I can't remember his name, Ramangoli for AC Milan.
Yeah.
That should be the partnership, but then they should have developed. But no, they've done that classic thing where they've looked at 48 and 59-year-old Benucci and Chiellini and stuck with it. Like, don't fact check that. That's how old they are.
No, that's exactly how old they are.
So even looking at the Germany team now, it's not as strong. We're used to seeing absolute units of players in a Germany squad. And the midfield is very good. I'll give them that. The midfield three, but the other players, you're like that. You can't see them doing bits against the bigger teams.
But they are quite young.
This will be Germany's tournament to disprove or prove that. Sane will be back. Timo Werner's a class striker. Gnabry's shown against both of our clubs what he can do.
He fucked us up, bro. He fucked our team up.
The defence, Nicholas Sewell is brilliant. Who would be his partnership be?
You got Kai Havertz, who's class.
Havertz, and who's the other really class winger as well? Julian Brandt. And technically Royce could do a job in there because he's fucking. I watched it. Dortmund tweeted 100 Marco Royce goals yesterday. I watched the whole thing. Oh my god, he might be one of my favourite players of all time. I've always loved Marco Royce.
He's class. He is.
Germany are missing that class player that they used to have, like your Muller, your Closer. Them players like would pull you.
Well, they should have Muller, but for some reason Lowe banished them from the squad. I don't understand why he banished Thomas Muller. He's like 28.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. But
he looks 40, but he's like he's not as old as you think he is, and it's such a bizarre choice.
The thing is with that Germany squad is it is young. It is younger than it has been. Like the last World Cup, they did so bad because they had them older players in that had been doing so well, but didn't catch up this game, and that's what I think they're doing this next tournament. They'd get a bit of the youth in. And
honestly, we've mentioned Belgium, and they have, if anything, just the same squad but slightly worse. They've lost. Vertonghen probably won't be there. 21. Still, they don't have any sort of full-backs. They're talking about having Thorgan Hazard at right wing back and start the game, really. And for that, it seems like it'll be slowly slipping down. I think the only other one I really want to talk about, we talked about Italy, we talked about Spain not being quite where they were. Spain have Saul and they have, still Morata, but then you look at the wings and you see people like Aspas, they're in the squad.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You're there going, what? But I guess the only other squad that is another not even dark horse because they're the holders is you're looking at Portugal with Jean Matinho, Ruben Neves, Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo, João Felix,
Silva.
Silva, sorry. With a defence of, I can't actually remember the defence.
It says here, Semedo, Diaz, Cancelo.
Ruben Diaz, Cancelo.
Guerrero, is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Guerrero, yeah.
But see, that Semedo's a right back.
Patricio, I assume, still in there?
Yeah, Patricio, yeah. Like, that is a squad not to be slept upon, especially with the younger people like Felix and even your man Bruno Fernandes who's done bits at United.
With the amount of people there that can put a ball on Ronaldo's head, 34.
That's all they like. When you're in the academy around that age, you were just taught to ping it to Ronaldo. That was their game plan. And so all of these Portuguese players are just mint at doing that. But you know what?
If they can win Euros with Jose Font in centre back, and they can win it with those.
You know what? You're missing out. You're missing one team out, and it's the Netherlands.
I forgot about the Netherlands, but I did look at that today and think you do have De Jong, De Ligt. You've got Bergwijn. Who's the striker now?
Memphis.
Depay.
Yeah.
You've even someone off the bench like Crystal Palace's Van Aanholt can just.
Well, they've got arguably two of the greatest centre backs in the world at the moment, I'd say, with Van Dijk and De Ligt.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, of course.
It depends because the full-backs aren't the greatest either at the moment. Cause I think Veltman's on there, who is at
Veltman. Does Blind still sometimes play that?
Blind is
he's on left back in this one.
I can't see him being there in 21. So
no. But yeah, I go into this tournament and I think to myself, fucking England are going to win this, aren't they, boys? We had that 2018 tournament, we're doing bits, we've got this squad, and then you just read out some of these names and some of these squads and you're like, oh shit, it's not happening.
And that's not even taking into account the fact that in every single international tournament there's one team that fucking shocks everyone.
Exactly.
And who knows who that'll be. Probably Italy.
Yeah, exactly.
But, it'll be fun, and it's a bit of a weird one this because we'll have to bookmark this video and look at it in a year's time.
Yeah, definitely. We'll come back to this one.
See what's happened because
it's exciting.
Should we end it there? Have a little part 3?
Yeah, sure.
Do it.
Sorry, I just burped. That was probably really bad. Man, I can't be the fact that this fucking aperture is pissing me off. It keeps going back. I'm really whitewashed at parts. It's not going great. I'm wearing a white top with a white background as well, with a white skin.
To be fair, Jay, that's just silly decisions on your part.
Listen.
You can't be like, what's going on? Who dressed me? Who painted the wall? Who are my parents? I think we're recording for that. That could be a good start to this.
Welcome back to part 3, boy.
Anyway, so we're gonna keep it football, but we're gonna stray slightly. Obviously, the last thing I did the day before quarantine actually was I own 4 footballs. And I drove to Windermere just because I know there's a really smooth patch of grass and goalposts, which I live in the country. That's quite difficult. There's a lot of overgrown places with goalposts and flooded places with goalposts. And I just couldn't really speak to anyone. Ross was busy. I just went by myself and just lined up 4 footballs, kicked them, then kicked them back through the net the other way, then kicked them back through the net the other way for about 2 hours. And just by myself. That's what I did. That was my last footballing experience. Jay, what was your last footballing experience since this?
I did kick-ups in the garden 2 days ago.
Okay.
No, the last footballing experience was probably the last time I played with you, Josh, was probably the last futsal session at uni. That's fucking, mate. It's devastating. I know. And listen, right? No one in Birmingham I speak to gives a fuck about football. This is why I still have to talk.
Get yourself on some group chat. Well, not now, but get yourself on some chats and find a five-a-side. You even, don't get me wrong. I know you want to have the ball at your feet, but you would go once a week to go.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I was looking into it actually because I just got the job before fucking quarantine. I thought I'm going to be in Birmingham for a bit longer than I would have hoped. I'm going to try and find a five-a-side team. I started to look, and then it was like, stay inside.
Which probably leads to some most important thing of this is I've got a question for you, Adam. But first, obviously you have a team.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Well, as a team in the league, we're not doing very well. The last game we played, I think we must have conceded 6 against people I used to go to school with, which is even worse.
Oh, that's horrible.
So that's a bad experience. And then we had a five-a-side team as well with Uni. But that stopped 2 weeks ago. We're just as bad on that. So.
Adam, are you shit at football?
You're the defender here
I'm
as
not,
well,
personally.
mate.
You're looking at.
I thought you were good at it.
You're looking at Player of the Year last year. You're looking at the captain, fantastic. I'm just around a lot of shit players, and I'll probably get crucified for that.
Oh, clip that up and send it to
Let's
the.
clip
Yeah.
that shit, yeah. No, okay. So my question for you, Adam, is obviously I'm sure you won't take offence to this. Your 11-a-side team is right at the bottom of the English football pyramid.
Yeah.
It couldn't be it's so far compared to United. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, do you think that the fact that the FA is saying to does your football matter less? And I know it does financially and everything, but the fact that the FA have drawn this line through, we might try and continue this football, but this football, fuck it, let's just whoever I know you were 12 points clear and going to be promoted, but fuck off, we don't care. What's your opinion of that?
I think so. The reason I play football is because it's a sort of disconnect from everything else. When I'm playing, I just forget everything else. I enjoy playing football. You know what I mean? So when that got cancelled as well, I was a bit gutted. I wasn't devastated, but I know there's a lot of players on my team that, and I don't think they'd mind me saying this, is they don't have much else. So them playing football is sort of the highlight of their week, and for it to be cancelled now, and it does look like the FA don't really give a shit about these lower leagues because it doesn't make them money. So it's a bit gutting, to be fair, but I'm probably not the person to ask because I only play it as something else to do, as sort of like a hobby. So I wasn't too bothered. But I think if you ask my brother, he'd probably have a lot more to say about it, to be fair.
Get in it now.
Get in.
No, yeah, it's just interesting that Liverpool are 25 points clear, so we'll still try and get them the title. And also we need to decide the relegation battle, and then they're kind of just that is the case of non-league football now, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's just
Yeah.
So teams that were 12 points clear are not going to be promoted. Teams that were going to get relegated have been saved. So I guess it depends where you sit. You're like, oh, thank God we haven't been fucking relegated. But the end of the team, 12 points clear. Going,
well, to use an example, we, all three of us did the documentary last year at FC United. They're a fan-owned club, and that, right now, who's helping them? Where's the money coming from them? The fans, they're not going to work. They haven't got the money. They're in, quite a bit of trouble, and also they were on their way back up to get more money and stuff like that. So every little team will have its own little problems, and it is devastating for a lot of teams and a lot of people, man.
A lot of teams are going to see a really bad side of this, a hell of a lot of teams. So it's obviously going to happen. A lot of companies are going to probably go bust and stuff, but it's.
It's easier said than done that companies
exactly.
give their money to companies that are nothing to do with them. But at the same time, footballing companies, ENIC for Tottenham, Woodward for you guys, but Abramovich for you, need to realise that without we're a very shiny set of cards on top of a house of cards, and if the entire bottom falls out, then there's not really much point to the game. Unless we become America and just don't get relegated at the end of the season, which nobody.
No one wants that.
I don't think I'd watch football if there wasn't a chance that you could.
Oh no! Yeah, there's the that is such a big element, and it's like who's coming up and who's going to have the chance to redeem themselves, and it's all about definitely not.
Has LAFC bought their way into the league this season? Or decided to play that newly promoted team? No, because they're instantly on your. And this is a very different argument, and I've gone off massive.
But it's very true. It's very true.
Like it's just if there wasn't a fear that Tottenham could get relegated, I'd sit there and we'd lose a game, and I think that gut wrenching. Oh fuck, we're 12th. Is what makes football brilliant, and I think if Aston Villa was sat in 17th with actual no fear of going down, I think we would be sat there going like...
There'd be no point. It'd take all the fun out of it. Yeah, you're 100% right.
So I don't know where but yeah, essentially, we're not disagreeing with everything. Obviously, it's the right thing to do that everything's stopped, but I feel like all football should maybe have been treated the same.
I agree. And it's like you said, they've just disregarded anything below that line as unimportant when it's because it's not important to them, but to so many other people it is very important.
We'll end on one last question then, because we should probably wrap this up. Mm-hmm. But okay, what do you boys think should happen with the league? Should Liverpool get the title?
No.
And bearing in mind the caveats quickly is that if we don't give if we give Liverpool the title without playing another game, we have to relegate 3 teams, even though 17th, 16th and 17th... No, sorry, 18th and 17th are on the same point.
That's the point I was going to make. My answer is no, because if you give Liverpool the league, you've got to give us the Champions League, which obviously I won't mind, but that is a kick in the bollocks for Sheffield, who have a game in hand over us.
Yeah.
And 1 point behind us, I think?
Yeah.
And then you'd have to relegate...
I'm perfectly willing to exclude Tottenham from this at the moment, but you look at Wolves, United, Chelsea, like they're all scrapping it out there. And
I personally think that the league needs to be finished, and if that if that means we finish it in the summer, if that means we finish it in the winter, if that means we don't start the next season till late, or we don't even start it at all, this season needs to finish just to tie up every loose end, because it's not fair on any team. Next season hasn't happened yet. That doesn't matter. This season has started. Liverpool deserve their win as much as we don't want it. They deserve their win.
Yeah.
Villa deserve to go down because they've been shit. And you know what I mean? Like, I think the league needs to be finished. It has to be, no matter how.
Definitely.
Yeah, that is very, because I would happily, if you said to me right now, would you rather end the season, start afresh? As a Tottenham fan, obviously part of me goes, fucking start afresh, fuck this. But no, actually, yeah, I would happily sacrifice next season to have a 10-game season.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think
just to finish
there was an idea that was floating around that you do that whole thing where you only play everyone once next season, and then make it into a cup competition where you're half the league, and have people fight out. Like, just do something a bit unique and quick.
Yeah, that's what they do in the MLS, and that could work. Like, you see that, you know what they do.
Yeah,
they play.
Yeah. So like that, that can happen, and that can happen to next season because it hasn't happened yet. So that's fair.
I wouldn't mind that. It'd be a bit different. We'd have things to talk about, and then we could reset. It'd be great.
I think that's the way forward. I think that's the way they go in. But it also, it's the case of when can they play again? When can these players play again?
No one
exactly.
knows. I saw us kind of
That's the issue. That's the
6 months.
big issue.
So
there's 10 games left, is there?
Yeah, something
around
like
10
that.
Games.
Yeah.
10-11, I think it might be 11.
I saw something yesterday. Quickly bring this up before we end. True Geordie, he has a solution, and the solution is to isolate all the footballers, so get them away from their families, get them all together in a hotel, make sure everyone's checked for the coronavirus, and then play behind closed doors. And I just couldn't believe what he was saying.
Well, he's a knobhead, isn't he?
Don't speak to your family for. I mean, because you need to still rest. You can't just play all the games.
Yeah.
Like, you still have to have 3, 4, 5 days between each game. So, like, and I know you've got a child. Like, we've just given Stephen Bergman permission to go home during this pandemic because he's having a child. I know you've got a child that you've just been born, but come on to the Midlands.
Everyone's staying in a fucking hotel. Yeah, his point was the fact that boxers do it for camps. They camp, and I was like, it's a different sport. That's one person, not teams.
Well, True Geordie's a very particular type of character that used to be a deep sea diver, didn't he? Like, he's used to being isolated. He probably likes that. He's a bit of a figure.
People have families that they want to see in this time. Like it doesn't matter. Me, you, and fucking you. That's both of you. Do not matter at this point in time to them, because they need to see their families like as the same way we need to see our families. So they shouldn't be entertaining us. They don't need to be playing football for us.
I mean, he's not a footballer anymore. But if you remember Benoit Suakoto, he didn't know what a Fulham was. Tell that man to be isolated away from everything he loves for like
to finish the exactly. So
there's an old story of like, I think it was AVB or it must have been AVB or Redknapp. No, not Redknapp. It must have been AVB. Goes up to him like, "You ready for Fulham?" And he's like,
yeah, tell that guy that he needs.
It was like next week's game, and he was like,
yeah, 100%. No, it's just I couldn't believe he said that. I couldn't like they're not. I think people forget that footballers aren't. They're real and they are real people, and they need to be safe and isolated the same as everyone.
Basically, that's the message. Stay safe. And tonight, when you come in, wash your hands for 20 seconds. Then after you wash your hands, give them a dry off. Nip upstairs. Maybe your dad's in the bath. Walk in.
Why'd you take it there?
Walk in. Make sure he's got bubbles. And just be like, by the way, Dad, wash the back place.
Why'd you take it there? Why is there a bath? Why is it in the bath? Could have been in the room.
Why is there a bath?
Why is your dad in the bath? What if he's already listening to the bath post in the bath?
Oh, God. Joking.
See ya.
That's a new episode. Get in the bath.
Alright, that's it. That's it.